Now let us go to the naming of organic compounds. We may call it as nomenclature. Nomenclature of organic compounds. Nomenclature is the same as the naming of the organic compounds. The basis for the naming of the organic compounds is in the IUPAC system. The compounds will be having their common names, their trivial names, derived from the source, or the names related to their properties. Maybe there. But to avoid confusion, IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, IUPAC. Say IUPAC suggests some rules regarding the naming of organic compounds. For the nomenclature of the organic compounds based on IUPAC system, we start with alkanes or paraffins. So we start the naming of the alkanes or paraffins. Alkanes or paraffins. So our heading is nomenclature of alkanes or paraffins. Alkanes or paraffins. Every compound has its name derived from the alkanes. So alkanes are the basic compounds. The basic compounds. So we must study the rules regarding the naming of the alkanes or paraffins. We must know what are alkanes or paraffins. We have studied in the 10th standard what are alkanes or paraffins. So alkanes are the open chain or aliphatic, open chain or aliphatic hydrocarbons. They are hydrocarbons. With carbon-carbon single bonds only. Carbon-carbon single bonds. Carbon-carbon single bonds. Such compounds are called alkanes or paraffins. Alkanes or paraffins. So, alkanes or paraffins are hydrocarbons. They are open chain hydrocarbons. We have seen open chain compounds. There is a chain of carbon atoms, but there is no ring formation. There is no ring formation between the carbon atoms. The chains of the carbon atoms are open. Maybe a straight chain or maybe having the branched chains also. Anyhow, there is no ring closure between the carbon atoms. And such a structure in which there is no ring formation between the carbon atoms, that is called an open chain structure. So alkanes are, first of all, they are open chain compounds. There is no ring formation. Secondly, they are hydrocarbons. Thirdly, they are containing only carbon-carbon single bonds. So they are saturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons. And as such, hydrocarbons are called alkanes. They are also known as paraffins because the reactivity of these compounds, that is found to be very little. They have little affinity for the others. They have little reactivity. And so they are called the paraffins. Okay. So let us go back to the alkanes. So what are alkanes? We have to see alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, all these compounds you have to see. So alkanes are open chain, there is no ring closure. Open chain compounds are called aliphatic compounds. They are, just a minute. Okay, let us continue. Same. Open chain compounds are called aliphatic compounds. So, open chain or aliphatic hydrocarbons with carbon-carbon single bonds. That means saturated. Saturated are called alkanes. We know the general formula CnH2n plus 2 that we'll study later. There is another heading, hydrocarbons. Now let us begin with the nomenclature, the naming of alkanes. The, the simple compounds like carbon atom number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to 4. There are the common names or the trivial names. As you know, the general formula of alkanes, CnH2n plus 2, where n is the number of the carbon atoms. We'll study this again under the heading hydrocarbons. Okay, so open chain or aliphatic hydrocarbons with carbon-carbon single bonds or saturated hydrocarbons with the general formula CnH2n plus 2. They are called alkanes or paraffins. Okay. So let us start with the simplest alkane. The simplest alkane will contain only one carbon atom. And it is nothing but our CH4. CH4. Only one carbon atom. C1 H2 into 1 plus 2. C1 H2 into 1 plus 2. That is CH4. And we know the name of this compound that is familiar to us. And it is our methane. It is our methane. You may call it as methane. Okay, you read it. For me, it is methane. Okay. So CH4, methane. So a compound present in the natural gas. And the Weber gas also. Natural gas, the marsh gas, and the Weber gas. All these contain methane, mainly the hydrocarbon methane. Now you come to the next compound with the two carbon atoms. That is a C2H6. Because C2H, 2 into 2 plus 2. 2 into 2 plus 2, C2H6. We know the structure. It is a CH3, single bond, a CH3. The covalent bond shown here is between the carbon atoms. It's not between hydrogen and carbon as it looks like. As it looks like, it's not between hydrogen and carbon. It's between the carbon atoms. The bonds shown here are between the carbon atoms. So CH3, single bond CH3. As carbon-carbon single bond. And the name of the compound, that is also known to us. And it is our ethane, ethane. Now you come to the next higher compound, C3H8. C3H8. You come to the gender formula CnH2n plus 2, where n is equal to 3. 3. So C3, H2 into 3 plus 2, so that it is a C3H8. C3H8. And the structure is CH3, CH2, CH3. All are single bonds between the carbon atoms. And the compound, as you know, it is our propane. That's our propane. CH3H8. CH3, CH2, CH3, propane. Into the next compound. C4, H10, C4, H10, and structure CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, CH3, and the compound. There are 4 carbon atoms, and the compound is called butane. 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 Now, butane can have another structure also. Another structure. We have seen that. We have seen that when we are dealing with the chain isomerism or nuclear isomerism. There can be another carbon chain also. So, up to butane, there can be the common names or the trivial names based on the source or the properties of the compounds. Say carbon atom number 5 onwards. Number 5 onwards. How the compounds are named. So we have to think of the rules regarding the naming of alkanes, saturated, open chain hydrocarbons, or alkanes, CnH2n plus 2. We must know the rules regarding the nomenclature, IUPAC rules. Let us say the IUPAC rules for naming the alkanes. So, first rule is this. To name the compound, you consider the longest carbon chain. We are dealing with the nomenclature of hydrocarbons. We are starting with the nomenclature of hydrocarbons. So to name the hydrocarbons, according to IUPAC rules, you take the longest carbon chain first. The longest carbon chain. The longest carbon chain that is taken as the parent carbon chain. It is taken as the parent carbon chain. And the parent carbon chain is named with an ending ANE. So, in general, all the alkanes, in general, say all the alkanes end with they end with ANE, the names alkanes. The names of the alkanes end with ANE. There is the ending ANE. The name should end with ANE. So you take the parent carbon chain first. The parent carbon chain is the longest carbon chain. That is the parent carbon skeleton or the parent carbon chain. Now, you give the root word, the Greek root word for the parent chain. For the parent chain, you take the Greek root word is taken. The root word is related to the number of the carbon atoms. That's all. It is related to the number of the carbon atoms. So in the IUPAC system of nomenclature, to name the hydrocarbon, you take the root word first. And to the root word, you add A and E. the ending A and E is added to get the name of the compound. So the question is, what is root word? Root word is the word or the name related to the number of the carbon atoms. Usually we make use of the Greek root word or sometimes the Latin root word. Usually the Greek root word is taken. And it is corresponding to the number of the carbon atoms. Let us see the root words of some of the carbon atoms. If there is only one carbon atom, C1, then the root word, as you know, is meth. It is meth. Meth. So to name the compound with one carbon atom, what you have to do? You take the root word that is meth, and to that you add A and E, the ending A and E, so that the compound is methane. Methane. Got it? CH4, methane, one carbon atom. If there are two carbon atoms, the root word that is yet, yet, and to that you add A and E. So the compound is ethane. Ethane. That's our ethane. Do you remember? C2H6. C2H6. That is ethane. There are, say, two words combined together. Ethane is framed. Say, ethane is framed by joining the root word plus the ending A and E. So it is ethane. Then three carbon atoms. The root word, what is familiar to you, and it is prop. It is prop. To that you can add A and E. So the compound is propane. The same old compound C3, H8, propane, familiar to you. If there are four carbon atoms, C4, the root word is bute. It is bute. And to that you add A and E. A and E. So the compound is a butane. Butane. So it is butane. Butane. So the name is derived like this. Okay. Now, five carbon atoms. Five carbon atoms. From here, the root word represents the number of the carbon atoms. Five carbon. Pend. Penta. Penta means five. Do you remember pentagon? Pentagon. Eh? A figure with five sides. Pentagon. Pentagon. Gonos. Angle. Angle. There are five angles. You just see the figure pentagon. Pentagon. There will be five angles. Okay. So five. Pend. So the root word is pend. And it is corresponding to penta means five. So it is related to the number of the carbon atoms, five. To that you can add A and E. So the compound is pendaene, pendaene, C5, pendaene. Okay, let us take say six carbon atoms, six carbon atoms, and it is a hex. It is a hex. The number of carbon atoms, six. The root word is hex. Sorry. Hex. Okay. Hex. To that you add A and E. So the compound is hexane. Hexane. Similarly, say seven carbon atoms. Hepta, seven, eight, octa, Then non, N-O-N, non, name, deck, 10. Okay. So this will be the naming procedure. You have to take the where the roots that you add A and E, so that the names of the alkanes end with A and E. That is rule number 1. Okay. If there are side chains, if there are side chains, you first you select the parent chain as the longest carbon chain, and you give the numbers to the carbon atoms, so that the side chain is getting the lowest number, and that is called the locant. The position that is called the locant. So the side chains are given the lowest, the smallest locant, smallest number. It is rule number 2. Rule number 2. That is side chains. If there are side chains, for side chain, the carbon atom bearing the side chain, that is given the smallest locant, the lowest, or the smallest location, position. From that we have locant. The smallest locant. Locant means the smallest number. The smallest number is given. Smallest number is given. And then you prefix the side chain in the alphabetic order. That is rule number 3. You prefix side chain, in the alphabetic order. Alphabetic order. Alphabetic order. Along with the locant on the left hand side. Alphabetic order along with the locants, that is the number of the carbon atom on the left hand side. So we have seen 3 rules now. First, you take the longest carbon chain, then the side chains are given the smallest locants, the smallest number. Then you prefix. Prefix means right before, in advance. So you prefix the side chains in the alphabetic order. So remember these 3 rules first. And based on that, let us try to write the names of some simple compounds. Say, for example, CH3, CH3. We are going to apply these 3 rules here. Then CH2, CH3. How to name these compound? What are the rules you are going to apply? You find out the longest carbon chain first. The longest carbon chain containing the side chain. The longest carbon chain. So the longest carbon chain, it contains say 1, 2, 3, 4. If you number from here, then also 1, 2, 3, 4. The longest carbon chain contains only 4 carbon atoms, and it is the parent. It is the parent hydrocarbon. So you give the name of the parent hydrocarbon first. How to name the parent hydrocarbon? You write the root word plus A-N-E. The root word plus A-N-E. If it is so, for the time being, you leave the side chain. You leave the side chain. So the longest carbon chain contains 4 carbon atoms, and the root word for the alkane containing 4 carbon atoms. It is bute. It is a bute. It is a bute. To that you add A and E. So the parent is butane. The parent is a butane. So this compound is a derivative of a butane. The parent, this is the parent. Say the parent, this is the parent. The parent structure is of a butane structure. And in butane, there is a side chain. And which is the side chain? CH3 group. CH3 group is called the methyl group. Methyl group. Now you prefix the side chain. There is only one side chain, so you prefix right before. So it is methyl. It is a methyl butane. Methyl butane. Now you have to mention the locant, the number of the carbon atom bearing the methyl group. You must write the number of the carbon atom, the locant of the carbon atom bearing the side chain. And when you number, the numbering should be done in such a way that the side chain should get the lowest locant. Okay, you come to the parent again, the butane structure. I have numbered the parent from left to right. I have numbered the parent from left to right. If it is numbered from left to right, then the methyl group is on the second carbon of the parent. Okay, do you follow this? Can you follow these things? The methyl group is on the second carbon. So you can write it as 2 methyl butane, where butane is the parent. That is one way. If one student is numbering in another way, say like this, the student is numbering, say I am number. Suppose a student like me is going to number like this, from 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbering I have done from right to left. It is not compulsory that you have to number from left to right. It is not compulsory that you have to number from right to left. It is compulsory that when you number from left to right or right to left, what direction? It is immaterial. The thing is, the side chain should get the lowest number, the lowest locant. So, which way of numbering is correct? Which way of numbering is correct? Is it my way of numbering? It is the blue ink. The blue ink. Or Gayatri's way of numbering? That is the green ink. Which is the correct way of numbering? You say, Nandana, what is your opinion? According to rule number 3.
Green.
Gayatri's numbering is correct. Do you agree with that? Achut. Gayatri's number is correct. My numbering, the blue letters used, that is wrong. Okay. So, you can number from left to right or right to left. It doesn't matter. Whichever direction you can select, it doesn't matter. The thing is this, the carbon atom bearing the side chain should get the lowest locant. And that locant is the location number, position number. And that must be written on the left-hand side of the side chain as it is written here. So the correct nomenclature of this simple compound It is a 2-methyl butane. 2-methyl butane. All right? Okay. Now let us take another example. Say CH3, then CH, then CH2, CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH3. Another compound is given to you. And how to name this? What you have to do, Achut? You find out the parent skeleton first. You find out the parent first. To find out the parent, what you have to do? You have to find out the longest carbon chain. The longest carbon chain. So, how many carbon atoms will be there in the longest carbon chain? Achut, you say, how many carbon atoms will be there in the longest
Five.
carbon chain in this? How many carbon
Five.
atoms will be there?
Five, sir.
About here, you just show with your fingers. You say 5. Okay, 5. So, Nandana, what is your opinion? Nandana,
5, sir.
5
5.
again? 5. Okay. So, you have numbered, just wait, just wait. You have numbered, say like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can come this way also. Here, 5. That is your numbering. Gayatri, what is your opinion? Do you agree with Achyut and Nandana? The longest carbon chain contains 5 carbon atoms. Do you agree with that?
Sir.
Confused. Okay, I shall help you. So let me number that in another way. Let me start the numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, there is a trap. There is a trap in the structure given. It's a trap. You must know the trap. Okay? There is a trap. Very purposefully, I have written the CH3 CH2 group as the side chain. That is not the side chain. You find out, all of you, please. Say, all of you, please. Aditya, Lydia, Adul, you follow this or not? Michael, there will be traps. There will be traps in the structures given. There will be traps. You try all possibilities. You try all possibilities so that that will be the longest carbon chain. Okay? So, don't worry. First, we should do some mistake. First, okay. So, you have to find out the longest carbon chain, and for that, you have to find out all the roots. So, there are 6 carbon atoms. There are 6 carbon atoms in the longest carbon chain. So, the parent contains 6 carbon atoms. Okay. So, what should be the name of the parent? 6 carbon atoms. So, the root word is hex. What's that you add ANE? So, the compound is hexane. Hexane. Say, I'm writing the small letter always. I am writing the small letter. If there are side chains, the parent, it should have the small letter. Not only that, only the first one is given the capital letter. Only the first side chain or functional group, whatever it is. Only the first one is given the capital letter. That is what you have studied in English, is it not? You begin a sentence with a capital letter. Is it not? So always the first one capital. So hexane is the parent here. Now in hexane, which are the side chains? Now you can say the side chains. There is a CH3 group. There is another CH3 group. So there are two CH3 groups, and they are named as dimethyl. There are two methyl groups: methyl, dimethyl, trimethyl, etc. You have to mention the number. So dimethyl. Okay. So this is dimethyl. In dimethyl, there are two methyl groups. Then you have to mention the locant. You have to write the numbers of the carbon atoms bearing the side chain. And which will be the positions of the two methyl groups. The two methyl groups will be on. The first one on. Wait. Okay. The first one is on. Come on, Achut. On the third carbon. Just wait. So, first one on the third carbon. And the second one is on the fifth carbon. If a fool like me is numbering like this, this is the name of this compound. That is a 3,5-dimethyl hexane. Just wait. But say there are a large number of wise people before me, and you apply rule number 3. When you number the parents, the side chains should get the lowest locant, the lowest number. Okay. Suppose, say, Nandana is numbering like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Then what will be the name of this compound? This compound, it is a 2, come on, 2, 4. It is a 2, 4. The locants, the positions are 2, 4. So according to Nandana, it is a 2, 4 dimethyl hexane. According to me, it is a 3, 5 dimethyl hexane. And what is the correct name? IUPAC rule? There should be. Why are you so sad, Nandana? You have got the correct answer. Cheer up, happy enough. Okay. So the correct name is Achut? It is a 2, 4. Okay, 2, 4. There is another rule. We can see that later. You take the sum of the locants. Wait. You take the sum of the locants. Say, if you take the first one, sum of the locants, 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. The second one, 2 plus 4, 6. The lowest locant. The sum should be the lowest. So the correct way of numbering is Andana's way of numbering. Say it is like this. Okay. All right. So this is the correct way of numbering. So the compound is, come on, 2, 4 dimethyl, is it not? 2, 4 dimethyl hexane. Hello? 2-methyl. So you must think of all the possibilities to get to the longest carbon chain as the parent. That is first one. Second, when you give the numbers, the side chains should get the lowest number. Okay. the side chains should get the lowest number. Let us take one more simple example. CH3, CH3, then CH2, then CH3, CH3. How to name this? Find out the longest carbon chain. It's very simple. The compound is very simple. The longest carbon chain will contain. You can start from this methyl group, or you can start from this methyl group, or you can start from this methyl or this methyl. All are the same. So the longest carbon chain contains 1, 2. Numbering should start from one end. And that is also compulsory. Numbering should start from one end. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon atoms. So which is the parent? 5 carbons pinned. There are side chains also. Side chains. So you can write the small letter. So pinned, pinned. And to that you add A and E. So pentane. That is the parent skeleton. Pentane. Now, in pentane, on the left hand side, you write the side chains or the functional groups. Here we have 2 side chains. The methyl groups, 2 methyl groups. So the compound is dimethyl. Dimethyl. When there are 2 methyl groups, you must write the locants on the left hand side. The left hand side. If it is so, yes, it will be the locants. Come on. It is 2, yes, 4 dimethyl pentane. If you number from right to left, then also what will be the condition? Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From any direction you number, the locants will be the same. 2, 4, 2, 4. It's a very simple compound. But there will be some compounds which will be having complications. Okay. That is rule number 3. Up to rule number 3 we have come. Now you come. Time. Oh, okay. So, friends, it is time. Here the teachers are compelling me to stop. Okay, let me stop. We will meet again. Thank you.